Are you ready to explore the unknown? Dive into the world of the strange, mysterious, and unexplained with Eerie Expeditions magazine. Each issue is packed with spine-tingling tales, cutting-edge paranormal investigations, and exclusive insights into hauntings, cryptids, UFOs, and more. Whether you're a seasoned investigator or just love a good ghost story, Eerie Expeditions magazine has something for you. Join our growing community of truth seekers and adventure lovers. Subscribe today at EerieExpeditionsMagazine.com and unlock the secrets of the supernatural. Are you ready? That's EerieExpeditionsMagazine.com, where the extraordinary is just a click away. Dare.
Hi, I'm Brittany Ashley, your host of Breaking Norms, Building Dreams, your guide through this transformative journey in both business and life. This is your place crafted for dreamers, doers, or anyone who has been told they can't. Get ready as we challenge those narratives together. You're tuning in live to the United Public Radio Network, airing on 105.3 and 107.7 FM in New Orleans. We are streaming on all the popular platforms every Monday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Join me for a candid and thought-provoking conversation celebrating your unique journey because you are worth it.
The night has come, it's cold and losing my control. Your light is gone, and lonely darkness fill my soul. I wish that you could save me from my isolation. It's way too complicated. Let's stop this conversation. Stop this conversation. We got no relation. I have come, it's cold and losing my control.
Welcome to Don't Whistle at Night podcast, where Navajo legends echo in the shadows. Darren and Dawn will guide you through the sacred fire of native storytelling, where the old stories breathe, the unknown walks among us, and voices, long hidden, rise to be heard. And remember, don't whistle at night.
You're listening to UFO Undercover with your host, Joe Montaldo, right here on the Paranormal Radio Network.
I had had enough.
Well, you drove out there into the middle of nowhere and had some sort of loud verbal display challenging ET in general out in the middle of nowhere?
That's what I was doing. I actually had a pistol in my hand at the time. I was really ticked off. When I was having this fit, I was waving the gun in the air, okay, and I had this fit. And at this moment, I said, okay.
was a Louisiana man named Montaldo. Folks around called him Six Gun Joe. Worked with ICAR, don't you know? Investigating UFO. Out for a drive with a gal one night, they stopped to check out the reporting site. When an alien lit right there on the ground, he commenced to throwing his weight around. Now, old Six Gun didn't take too kindly to that kind of thing, especially without Vaseline or anything like that, seriously. Well, Six Gun looked that critter right in the eye and said, "Any last wish before you die, yo?" Reached for his gun, quick as a twitch, and said, "Fill your claw, you son of a bitch." Now a legend spread across the land about this pistol-waving man. But if you're from space or from Earth below, you don't give no lip to Six Gun Joe.
Welcome to UFO Undercover with your host, Joe Montaldo.
Well, welcome everyone. Where'd that come from? I didn't think we still had that on the list. Welcome everyone to UFO Undercover. I hope you're having a great morning, great afternoon, great evening, wherever you are on our big, beautiful blue planet. Last I checked, this show does go out to every country on the planet. It's now on its, I think it's its 30th birthday coming up soon. We've been around a while doing UFO stuff and alien abductions and God knows what's in between that we've talked about. I mean, it's literally thousands of hours. And that's not including anything else I did, like Wake Up USA or anything I did for ICOR or any of the other stuff. It's a lot. And there's a lot of good guests, a lot of great people to talk to, like Miss Dolly Safran, who we're going to talk to in just a second. She's always fabulous to listen to. Be sure to check them out on Monday night. Her and Mr. Preston are on Mondays. Y'all are closing shows still on Mondays, aren't y'all?
Yes, we are.
Oh, they got the hard job. They got to close it. No, the person open and person closing always got the hard jobs because they're the ones start and ends our numbers every day. So, no, they do a fabulous job over there.
Thank you.
I'm
love it.
Yes, I'm hoping to see 7 digits here in the near future. So,
So
if you listen, yeah, I know. If y'all are listening to us via any of the radio out there, nice. You should tune in on one of the videos. You can catch us right now on Roku Live television. It's only in the live section, though. You can't use the website. The new place is together, but I'm still working on some pay-for-view stuff. But you can watch us live on Roku right now. You can also watch us live on Fire Stick Television, of course, Rumble and Pal Talk and YouTube and God knows whatever else we're on out there. And then there's literally hundreds of places to listen to us on podcast. When I say hundreds, I mean hundreds. You can get us anywhere. You can go to any of our home sites. You can go to the websites. It doesn't really matter, or just type in United Public Radio or UFO Paranormal Radio, and I'm sure it will direct you to somewhere you can listen to us either live or syndicated and tell us what you think. If you're an iTunes fan, we're on Apple. Yeah, we're all over Apple. Whoever posted that. We used to have 3 feeds in Apple. We only have 2 now, though. Yes. It's one of the companies we used to do business with that how some of our stuff got hacked. And when they did, it destroyed too much. So Apple asked us if we would just take it down. So we did. And we didn't have nothing to do about it. But anyway, enough about all of that. And for all you 3i Atlas people out there, no more emails, okay? Until you see a damn alien, step out the damn thing. Stop. Really, stop. Dolly and I are going to talk about this later in the show, but still, I'm just, I mean, Jay and I gave y'all enough data for this thing for y'all for the next decade.
Yeah,
I mean, really. I mean,
we've deep dived into a lot of subjects.
It's just, we got a show coming up, and probably maybe during Christmas holiday, probably right after the Christmas holidays, on colonization. Yeah. We'll be getting into it a little bit more in depth. They found some more interesting stuff. Like now they think Phobos is hollow, so that's interesting. They want to turn it into a space station. Well, some people think it was a space station. Some people think, well, if it's not, we're going to turn it into one. Regardless, whether it was or not, it's going to be one. Anyway it goes, it's going to be some BS. What do you mean, Chris? First, we're going to be talking about Dolly's contacts tonight, and and a lot of what she talks about on the ship, which I find fascinating. If we got time, maybe we'll dabble around in that a little bit. But it's you mean you're talking about people living on Mars? Well, I don't know. Oh, you're talking to Mr. Oh, what's his name? He lives in BC. Exopolitics, Alfred Weber. That's who you're talking about. Yeah, yeah. He swears there's people living on Mars. He swears that. You know, I'm like, why the hell why would you first off, you're going to be like, say, like a president, want to go live on Mars? I mean, really, it doesn't even pressure. I mean, you're going to live underground all the time. This just sounds like a bummed out thing to do. Why you got this big, beautiful blue planet you can live on? If you're friendly with the aliens, maybe you can get them to take you to visit somewhere else.
Yes.
That has air and water. Wow.
Yes, somewhere nice. Or some. What do you mean, Chris? What do you mean? Well, you want to go to a place where they're blowing each other up? Is that what you're telling me? Well, maybe you should time travel backwards to World War II. Go serve in like Italy or France somewhere.
No.
Okay. Dolly knows what I'm talking about. But anyway, enough about all that, guys. There's lots of topics for the future, lots of things. You can always write to me at iCarCox.net. We're always looking for topics for things. But actually, we're just going to be giving away a lot of books over the next few weeks. And I got a few more people I'm going to hit up. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We got 1,500 sitting on my floor right now of different things. Some of it's from Writers of the Future, some from all over books and Barnes and Noble, places like that. And then we got individual copies that people send me of their own books, 2 or 3 books. And we're going to be giving away some of Nick Redfern's books. You know, I might even have a Preston Dennett book or 2 laying around.
Oh, you got to give one of them away tonight. That'd be cool.
It's I gotta see because I got so much shit in here.
Yeah.
It's well, you know, when we go to break, we'll look and see what we got. What's that, Kim? Well, no, Preston's on Monday night. What do you mean you don't know who Preston is? Where the hell you been? Venus? I even think on Venus they know who he is. The Venusians know who he is. Oh, come on. Well, all right. Better question. Let me rephrase this before I get myself in trouble here. How old are you?
Right.
Oh, 16. Well, first off,
he's a baby. That's okay.
First off, we're not allowed to talk to anyone on under 21 on air, so I apologize for that right off the bat.
Yeah.
But no, he's very popular. Look him up. He's wrote many books, a lot of really good ones. So just type in Preston Dennett, boom, bam. And if you have any kind of trouble, just type in UFO next to his name. Okay.
Or just keep tuned into the network and watch him on Mondays.
Yeah. Or catch him on Mondays. Yeah. And they give all their information. They give all their information out on Mondays, by the way, anyway. So y'all go check it out. And no, it's a lot of fun to listen to. I've been listening to him for God, I'm not even going to say how long. I don't want to date either one of us. I just don't want to do that. Just say it's been a long time and leave it at that. So Dolly, I mean, you've been around for a while doing this, you know, like 5 or 6 days or something, and
something like that, yeah.
Maybe 8 days. Whoa, that was Jay down there. That scared me, man. I thought there was a critter on the floor down there.
Yeah, he started scratching my croquet bag.
Put him in the bag and zip it closed, man. He's not a rock star yet.
No, not yet.
but anyway. So I mean, how long have you known you were a contactee? Since you were a kid?
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean,
my first contact when I was we proved that I wasn't 10 months old. I was 7 months old. I started paying attention to the dates on the film because they stamp it, back in the day. In the 50s. And so, yeah, I was 7 months old first time I saw them. And all I remember is being levitated up in my crib and flipping over trying to get back down. And my memory ended there, but I've had others. My first real shocking memory was 2.5. And my mom was pregnant with my brother. And I was supposed to be napping. She was heavily pregnant. And they came and got me. And they told me that I was going to get a balloon if I did what they told me to do. And I was a balloon freak. Then I had just had my tonsils taken out like a month before. And they gave me this giant red balloon with helium in it. And I was like, oh. And so I was like, yay. And they came down behind a totem in Miami off of Miller Road, which was about 6 miles from where we lived at the time. And It was a very desolate place, out in the boonies, middle of nowhere, and way in South Florida. And they said, if you walk around the building and go in the door, the man will be there and he will give you a big red balloon. And you tell him you're Dolly. And I'm like, okay. And I got to the doors and they wouldn't open for me. I'm 2.5, barefooted, only wearing underwear, and I couldn't push them open. He saw me. I started banging on the door, help me, help me. And he came in and got me, and he sat me down, and he said, who are you? And I said, Dolly. And he said, where's your mom and dad? And I had nothing to say at that point because I was expecting my big red balloon. And when I didn't get it, I started crying.
Yes, I will be with you as my balloon, buddy.
Yeah. He called the police. Now, while this is going on, my mom had woken up and realized I was gone in a house that's totally locked up. And she called the police. They had to call my dad to come, and they had her in a police car with a bullhorn out the window, Dolly, Dolly, looking for me. They had a bolo out rolling for me and everything. That guy, when he called the police, they went, and they took her, they drove her immediately to the thing, 6 miles from my house, right? When she got there, I was hysterical. And I was trying so hard, I get the hiccups when I'm really upset and mad, and I'm couldn't talk. And I was trying to tell her, where's my bloody red balloon? And I'd had enough of these people by then. All I wanted was my mom. And when my dad showed up, I was really freaked out. And so in those days, they didn't have DFACs, but they knew that something was wrong, and they were not letting my mother and father take me home until they figured it out. I had no wear and tear on my feet, no dirt. I wasn't filthy at all. They think that they were thinking somebody drove me there. My mom had proof that she was in the house the whole time because the police met her at the house. She had not taken the car out. All the neighbors, were talking to people right away. They held me in that freaking totem for like 2 or 3 hours until they okayed everything. My parents were fine and they let me get home with them. I tried to tell them, and my mother did not. She wasn't. They thought I was so upset I was making stuff up. And she thought I was covering for somebody who knew us, who could get in the house. And they were trying to figure it out. In the meantime, they went and bought a retired police dog named Heidi and put her in the house with us and trained her to be my dog, follow me everywhere, tell them when I was vacating, that kind of thing. After that, E.T. would pick me up and take the damn dog with me, and it just went on from there, When I was 5, now I remember this in snatches, okay? It's not a one clear long memory for me yet. It's not like an everyday thing that I remember minute to minute yet. When I was 5 and a half, we had gone and moved out to the Everglades, and I was in the front yard in front of our house, and I was laying on the ground looking. We had a big old gumbo limbo, one of those gumbo limbo trees. That's what we called them. I think they're, I can't think of the name of it anyway. I was looking at the clouds. It was a beautiful day. And I saw this huge, huge, huge umbrella coming down. It was slowly rotating. And it looked like Mary Poppins' umbrella to me, which makes sense to me because I had just seen Mary Poppins 2 weeks before my dad down on, Key Biscayne, a big theater there with my brother. And I'm looking at it, and I'm like, there's no handle, and there's no parrot on the handle. And I'm thinking, where is it? And I hear music, okay? But it wasn't Mary Poppins music. And the next thing I know, I go blank, and I wake up, and I'm sitting on the lap of this lady in this like craft. I didn't know I was on a craft, but it was different, okay? And I look at her, and she said, I know you, you know me. She said, I want you to call me Mama. I'm related to you. When you're with me, I'm Mama for you. I'm here to help you, always help you. And she gave me a big hug. And when she did, she huffed me. She, huffed me. I didn't know what that meant. And I was like, okay. And I realized the whole time, this lady is so different. No hair, bald, no eyebrows, nothing. Big old eyes. They were blue-green eyes staring at me. And I'm looking at her face and I'm thinking, okay, all right. I just accepted her for what she looked like. Tall. Oh my God. I was in her lap and she was like a giant chair around me. Okay. So I had about 5 seconds more of that. And I was going to try to talk to her. And blip, my memory goes again, and I'm on the floor behind the couch in our living room. And I'm thinking, wow. And I'm just like, wow. And my mom walks by going to the hallway, and she sees me and freaks totally out because there's no way I got in that house without her seeing me. Okay. No way. The way our house is built. And so I tried to tell her then. I was with this lady, and she had an umbrella, and I'm trying to tell her all this stuff, and she's like, okay, whatever. And it just went on from there until I was about 14 years old. Now, my mom knows I'm psychic. They all know I'm psychic. I've been doing psychic stuff my whole life. When I was, I guess, almost 5, just before that incident with me seeing Mama first time, my dad had taken me to Homestead Air Force Base because they had a program there. Which I now know was an MK program where they were checking out psychic children. Okay. Some guy told him, Bob, take her down there. Let's see how psychic she really is. And so they tested me. They had a deck of cards, and he said, tell us before I put the card down, tell if it's red or black first. Okay. I thought he told me every third card down for some reason. Kids don't really pay attention to what you're saying. And I was doing that all the way through. Now they got another guy who's keeping score on a piece of paper, and he stopped him and he said, are you doing every third card? And I said, that's what you told me to do. And he said, no. So they threw that card deck down, opened another one, shuffled it, and said, every card, do every card. Tell us. I aced it, all 52. Then they started bringing out other stuff, hiding things, telling me, what do you see? I'm thinking about it. What do you see? Things like that. And I'm nailing it all over the place. And he said, can you read my mind? And I'm like, I didn't understand what he meant. He said, can you hear me? Hear me. I said, yes, I can hear you. I'm thinking ears. I hear you talking. And then I hear in his head, do you hear me now? Or not like that, but can you hear me? And I said, yes, I hear you. Not realizing he had said it psychically to me. And they looked at each other and they told my dad, can we keep her for a couple of days? We want to run some tests on her. He said, we're going to do some EEGs and some other things. We'll run some other more complicated tests. They want to do a physical on me. And my dad was like, so they had a consent form. My dad signed it. And my mom brought the next morning me some nights and some stuff that I needed, to be there. And then she went home. She had to look at the place too. It's like I had the kind of mother that don't you mess with her kid, she'll kill you. Okay. And after the third day, my dad showed up out of nowhere and in uniform, armed. And he was literally Sergeant Safran. That's a voice that not many people get to hear, except for people who are under his command and whatever. He was booming. I could hear him all the way in the room that I was. Bring her now, bring her front and center, move your ass. That's what I heard. And they brought me up. He took me by the hand. They didn't get my stuff, and we left. A general who knew my dad who knew what that program was, said, get her out now. And he said, I'm giving you an order. You hand it to him and walk out with her. And my dad knew what that meant. It meant under no circumstances leave her there, which they had to have known the minute he walked in the way he did. Okay. Yeah. They were terrified of him. My dad was an Airborne Ranger. They knew it, and you don't mess with them. And so I went home. The next thing I know, we are moving again, further out into the Everglades. And we got dogs after that, big dogs. Okay, so this is how my life is going. I've had tons and tons and tons of experiences that I remember, but I had a mom who was telling me it was in my imagination. You're sleepwalking, you're this, you're that, And when you're psychic, you experience other things other than AT. I could remote view, I could astral project, I could levitate every now and then. I could do all kinds of things. And it was driving them all crazy, but we were living with it. My poor brother was psychic as well, but when he was about 9 years old, he came down with a midbrain infection out of nowhere, and it almost killed him. And he turned off. It stopped. I couldn't hear him anymore. He couldn't hear me, and that broke my heart. Everybody in my family is psychic, admittedly psychic, even my grandparents, on my dad's side. And so it was a normal thing to be psychic, but not to the degree that I was. So that's what drove them all nuts. They kept me occupied, and they kept me out of public view my whole life. as much as they could, you know?
Well, you can't blame them for that. I mean,
no, I don't blame them for that.
You know, one of the things early on we learned that ET really, and then for the organization I work for, we don't even consider you a contactee or an abductee if you're not psychic. I mean, it's to us, you have to be to even, because you know, people tell me all the time everybody's
also going on with what Dolly had just said when her brother got the brain virus. I've always been convinced that, you know, I'm very young when I first heard it, the brain actually emits an electromagnetic frequency. We're all like radio stations, basically.
Yes, we are.
And I had to think to myself, well, then we must all be inherently psychic, and there's probably just like the aliens that just put a protein in our DNA that says you can or can't do it. And apparently, you know, there's viruses and other ways they can turn it on or turn it off. And the movie is it Michael with Tom Hanks? Not Tom Hanks. Anyway, John Travolta, yeah, where he gets a brain tumor and it gives him tremendous, you know, like Jesus Christ type powers. You know, there's stories about that, people that don't have it, and all of a sudden they have a car accident, and then now they're psychic. And so
everybody is psychic. Y'all just don't know how to turn the volume up on it. We're toxic. We imbibe a lot of chemicals on this planet. We have fluoride in our water, and your plant is where it's transmitting from, okay? And it calcifies it, and that's the problem. Everybody's intuitive at the very bottom of it, but not everybody knows how to turn the signal up themselves. You know, they don't know how to. If we ate better, you drank cleaner water, whatever, you quit doing fluoride and everything, you would see a major jump in your ability.
I stopped drinking tap water years and years ago. I have 3 5-gallon, I don't know if you can see it, I have a 5-gallon water cooler. I have one on every level. I should start cooking with it too. I still cook with the tap water, but you know, it's not like I drink from it anymore.
No fluoride in your toothpaste, and read every label in your life, because they put fluoride in all kinds of stuff you don't know about. You know? And even on floss, there's fluoride on floss. And
okay.
Like that, yeah. So.
I don't. Yeah. Another guy. I don't floss, so I'm okay there.
Okay. Oh gosh. Yeah. So
give him hell, said Tommy. Give him hell, Tommy. Get that floss out. It's I don't think that Johnny. I don't think the aliens care if he flosses or not. Yeah. Whoever's kissing might, but I don't know if the aliens actually care.
As far as aliens are concerned, our bodies are just containers. That's really all they are. It's like a Tupperware, you know. And we talked about it before. They have different type of Tupperwares that they put their brains into, depending on the atmosphere of the planet they're going to. You know, if they're going to a denser planet, you can't put in a little tiny body; it'll get crushed. You have to put something that's strong against a higher pressure.
They have biological AI, and they can adapt it to go wherever they want it to go. You know, some have webbed hands and feet. They have to swim. Some their arms are longer than others. That's why you get a variety of sizes and shapes from them, because their biological AI are incredibly diverse. Okay, and like on Earth, we usually see the little 3-foot guys. Okay, that are like flimsy looking, pencil necks, big heads. You know, arms and legs that you look like if you hit them wrong, they'd fall apart, and they would. That's what you see here. Our gravity is really, really heavy, and they have to be here to handle that heavy gravity, so they're smaller. Okay, the bigger ones generally are in lighter gravity. They need more body width and weight on it to handle that kind of thing. I mean, there's thousands of different types of biological AI that they use, that they've developed. So. People say,
I know the Greys can make any kind of body they want. I know that for sure.
Yes, yeah.
We've seen enough. Then Denise, we do test for psychic abilities. We test a lot. Probably, if I had to put a number on it, I have never been a contactee or an abductee that wasn't telepathic, at least, or I should say empathic, at least. But when we go to a convention, and conventions are a little more. There's a few more. You'll find more psychics there. But when you do like the grocery store, or the mall, I'd say maybe at 1 out of every 15 scores above a 5, and 10 would be considered gifted. It's it's simple test. It's nothing complicated, and whether everybody's born with it or you can't tune it in or not, it doesn't really matter, because it's just not there for you to use. It doesn't matter, Kim. Unless you can get somebody to show you how to use it, it doesn't matter if you have it or not.
Yeah, you have to learn. You can be taught, and you absolutely can be taught. Everybody can. but you have to do what's necessary to be taught. It's a long road. It's like learning when you're a baby and you're learning to walk or talk or everything. It's a long road to that. It takes us months to get up on our feet. It takes us years to learn how to communicate properly. It's an ability just like that, and it's innate, and it's a trait. It's a biological trait that we all carry. It's in that line of our DNA, okay? And everybody's born with a trait. Some traits are more profound than others. There's more DNA attached to it, more different. And it follows family lines. Like if you say, I got a grandmother who's really psychic, I'll bet you money that everybody down behiand her is too.
Oh, yeah. You can bet your ass. And there'll be layers too, and there'll be some that are better and some that are not, but there'll be layers. But it does seem in general, and maybe I shouldn't generalize, but it does seem in general that over the 5 decades we've been tracking this, it does seem that some of the generations are increasing, but some seem to be lagging behind. And I'm only talking about abductees and contactees, not the everyday population. But it's weird. I don't know if it's because some people are just scared to get involved with it. And people being telepathic or empathic is not as big as a gift as you may think it is. It's a great gift, but then if you don't know what you're doing with it, it's not only great, especially if you wanted them to walk around projecting. Yes.
I'm like, for a while there, my daughter's funny. She's like a little bit autistic. Okay. She's like at the very end of just the teeny cat. And I was one of those moms after the first vaccination, she reacted to it. I went, we're done. Okay. And so she seemed to miss out on all the fun that incurs. She was telling me, I used to think you were autistic, but I don't think you're autistic. And I said, what, me, huh? And she said, yeah, because she said, I just read this thing that all autistic children are psychic as all get out. They've proven it, absolutely proven it. And I said, where did you read that? And she told me, I went and looked it up, and by God, they have now proven that all autistic children are psychic. They're just a little bit different in how they think. They're not atypical. They're atypical, I mean, different. And it means that they have problems being in groups of people and whatever. And that's a sure number one sign. And this was my sign. I can't stand to be in a group of people for very long. I lose it because it's too much. My brain pops. I hear y'all at the same time. And it's very uncomfortable. I feel hemmed in. And if you're feeling bad, I'm going to pick up on it. Or if you're angry, I'm going to pick up on it. Or if you got hate in your eyes, it's in your head. I feel that too. I know. And, it's like screaming at me, top voice for short, it's like nobody can take that. I couldn't stand. I'd rather listen to bombs going off. Okay. And, and that's an autistic thing. And I thought, oh my God, I wonder if they're like cycling around what part of the brain this is all ranging from now that they understand if you're autistic and your psychic ability is higher than most people's, where is that coming from in the head? And I haven't heard that yet. They haven't come out.
Well, it might not necessarily be from the head. It may be from lack of restriction, because one of the things that hurts telepaths or empaths is the fact that even at a young age, if you realize you have a gift, by the time you're 30 or 40, most people will have beat that damn gift out of you. You'll have been criticized or called a liar or this, that, or the other damn thing. And for a lot of people, that's enough. They just, okay, I'm just not going to bother with it. Or it drives them to other things. It's kind of hard. Now, Gene, there's a lot of pluses to being psychic or telepathic, but until you actually understand what the gift is, it be careful. Is all I can tell you. First off, don't go get in people's heads that you don't know, or you're not.
Yeah, that's the number one rule with ET. You do not disrupt. I was taught that very young. You're not allowed to impede on people's private thoughts. And if you start to, you pull back to get out of their head, immediately get out of their head. And I didn't understand what that meant at first. And then I finally figured out I was 10, because they would all go dead silent on me. They'd stop. And I'd be looking around going, what? And I had to realize that I was walking psychically where I wasn't supposed to go. And it took me a while to train not to do that, because it's a natural thing just to listen. We're all curious.
Like voyeurism, just can't help ourselves.
Yeah. And so I've learned that. I also can tell you something about the tall whites where this is regarding. They are very, 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 very strict people. Okay. They have a very strict ethos of behavior. Okay. And it has to do with exactly that, because they can hear you think better than you think they can hear you think. and they don't want you talking to them or doing things with them a certain way because they don't know how to. It's just a waste of their time to try to train somebody who will never figure it out to shut up. Okay, so they don't want you talking to them. When they don't want you talking to them, you're not going to talk to them. If they don't want you approaching them or getting too close or messing with their kids or all kinds of things, that is their thing, and it has to do with the restriction of what you can hear and what you can't hear, and they're that good at it, and that's how they developed.
Yeah, Charles Hall always said they were skittish.
No, it's called skittish. It's for your own protection.
Yeah, well, no, I'm just saying because he when he first got involved with it, when he found out about him, and they actually approached him, which was smart. They let the kids approach him. He didn't approach the kids, which is probably good because if he'd approached the kids, he'd probably been dead.
Exactly, I agree. Yeah,
he'd probably been dead. Well, he admits that openly. He said in the beginning he didn't even know what to think. He's just a weather guy. He's an officer. He had no clue what he was looking at or how. He couldn't even figure out why they decided they wanted to see him. His old goofy ass self walking around in the desert and stuff. That's no talent. It's
here. Yeah.
Yeah. James, what do you mean? Oh, you're talking about did they go to the casinos? I don't know. Well, that's for another show. How's that? Yes, we'll say that for another show.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not because that has nothing to do with what we're talking about tonight. So no, because we're talking to Dolly. I'm really more interested in Dolly's own experience than what's his face's experience. Charles is a cool guy and he's doing something. Where was it? Albuquerque or was it Albuquerque? I think it was in Albuquerque. He was doing a lecture up there on the Tall Whites. Yeah, go listen to him.
Oh wow!
It's I haven't talked to him in a long time, but so you're. I always love talking to contactees that remember childhood into their adolescence, into their teenage years, into their adult years, because you have a much better understanding of the progression of the extraterrestrial, and you start realizing, well, first off, I'm still alive, so you know what? I guess they aren't here to kill me or eat me, so that's a big plus.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then you can start really, as any curious child would, or even a curious adult would, start going, okay, well, what exactly am I doing here? How far can I get involved in this? How far can I push this? And ladies and gentlemen, it takes brave contactees to push the envelopes, because ET, I mean, they want us to learn and be part of a lot of things, but you know what? And sometimes they can be obstinate. That would be a good word.
And then the Tall Whites we were just talking about their Hobbit.
Yeah.
So sometimes I've heard people talk about, oh, they acted like proud parents when I used my psychic abilities, and then there's a couple times where they did something nasty to the contactee because they tried to get into like a Gray's head, I guess, looking for a question.
See, exactly my point. Don't go where you're not supposed to. Yeah.
Yes, they'll let you know if you can get in there or not. So, no, we've run experiments in that where we've used 3 psychics where we knew there was a contact going on or where there was a Gray nearby. Oh, and you get into their head, but you're going to regret it every time. You're going to regret it.
I learned not to do that. I learned to ask.
And that's the best part. They'll let you most of the time. I mean, not all the time.
And they will answer you most of the time, too. One of the great gifts of my journey through all of this is that I really did have the type of contact you're talking about. I really did get to evolve and develop into a relationship with them as family. And that's really cool. I consider them family, and they are family in a very personal way. It is strange to me when I hear people talking about them and they don't consider them family. I have to stop myself and say, they're not you. They don't know what you know. Let them talk, let them get it out, because everybody has a story to tell, and it's good. They should be able to get it out and explain themselves to everybody what's going on. What I'm trying to say is I'm more defensive of them than I thought I would be, but I am very defensive, as I would be defensive of us. I'm pretty much 100% on both sides of it. And they gave me literally a chance to prove myself to them in a way that allowed me to work with them. That was immense to me. When I realized that I was being given that opportunity, I jumped in with both feet and did low back, going. I knew what it meant. I knew what they expected of me, and that was from all the experience I had with them prior to that. I knew what was expected of me, and that was pretty doggone cool. And I've met 1 or 2 others like me from here, and it's not that we're brave, it's that we have curiosity that ends our thought process into being afraid. See what I'm saying? I'm afraid in the moment sometimes, like when my life is imminently in danger, you bet I'm afraid, just like everybody else. And I'm thinking, I'm going to get through this, okay? But I don't have that process when my curiosity is overriding it. And I think a lot of experiencers and contactees and even abductees, as you put them, are curious little cats in their heads. They just got to know. And that's a human thing, okay? We all are that. And that's what they find exceptional about us, just saying that our curiosity is so immense. And they wouldn't be here trying to do anything with us at all if we weren't that way. They wouldn't, if we had no second thought in our head about anything, if we were just dull, they wouldn't have anything to do with us, but they do. So I kind of look at us as exceptional in their minds in a way, and we got to prove it to them, though. That's the problem with us.
Yeah, well, well, I mean, they're here, they're dealing with this. One of the things I've always found fascinating is, and they should be treated as family, because that gray or that kind, whatever alien may be taking you, more than likely, he's the same alien that took your mama and your daddy, your great grandpa, and all the way back 3,000, 4,000, 10, maybe even 50,000 years in line. The same one knows your family more intimately than anyone that you personally know that knows your family. So right. It makes them family. And plus, you're still, the whole family stayed alive. They, it shows there's a keen interest. They're watching you forward. And I'm sure any chance they get inside their guidelines, they try to boost. Yes. I know there's some rules because they can't outright boost humans for some reason. I'm not exactly sure why. I mean, there's a lot of stories on why. We'll save that for another show too. But
they can't give us technology ahead of what we understand and are capable of.
Thank God, too. Yeah. Thank God they can't, because we would blow something up for sure.
Right. And that includes healing us and stuff like that. There's some things that they will heal. They have been helping us in that way. Okay, more than you understand or know. But stupid stuff like, and I'll tell you something about me that you may or may not know. I developed juvenile diabetes in my late 20s, so I was almost 30 years old before it showed up. And honest to God, juvenile diabetes. And when I came down with it, I expected them to fix this. And no. And I wanted to know why. And they said, because this is your path. You came here to experience that. Whatever this is teaching you, you have to learn it. You have to learn it. And you have to work around now. Everything is going to be different for you. You're carrying a new load, and you just have to deal with it. I was like, dang, dang. And it took me a while to process what that meant to me. And then, I got poisoned, and I have to deal with that too. They're not going to fix that. I have a transplanted kidney in my body. Okay. And I can look back on it now because I'm 67. I've had the kidney a long time. And I realized, oh, I get it now. I understand what the lesson is. Okay. And it pretty much means that I am capable of keeping my eye and my mind focused on that which I want to do, no matter the interruption or the incursion of other things. Okay. The number one thing that humanity does need to learn how to do, seriously needs to learn how to do, is focus and be able to have good understanding. And the only way we're going to do that is with knowledge. Okay. We're losing the ability to learn here. And that's concerning. That's their number one concerning thing about us right now, is that there's an element in our society that's preventing us from educating ourselves the way we should be. And the second one is, honest to God, truth telling. And funny thing about being psychic, when you're wide open psychic, you can't lie. You can't lie to anybody, and they can't lie to you either, because you can hear you thinking, they can hear you thinking, and there's just no line going on. That's why you don't impede on people's personal thoughts, because that can put you in a very bad position with them. Okay. You don't give anybody an excuse to tell you to go away because they can't handle what you want to know about them, and instead we make up things about ourselves when we do that. And we just have to learn how to respect one another enough not to do that to one another, whether we're psychic or not. And a big deal.
No, we're getting ready to go to break, so we'll have to save the questions until after we come back to break. It's going to be short, probably about 7 minutes, 30 seconds, something like that. Yeah. It's actually just 2 songs, no promos, so it's well, you know what time of year it is, people. I mean, come on. Am I the only one paying attention to the season? It's what do you mean? It's what are you talking about, Carol? Oh no, it is. It was yeah, it was 25 degrees here. Come on, this is the Gulf Coast, the bottom of Mississippi, as far as to the Gulf of America you can get without freaking stepping in the damn thing. And it's 25 degrees outside. Give me a break.
Winter is coming.
Yes. You know, though, it has been strange because people always bitching at me about global warming. I don't want to get into this real much, but since I bought this house, first year we had 2.5 foot icicles hanging off of it. I mean, come on. I'm supposed to live in the South, people. The South. You know,
I live in the North, Joe. I haven't
for a
seen
reason.
icicles in, I don't know, probably a while, at least a year.
See, now, poor Dolly was down there in Florida, which is technically another country. Yes.
Yeah, I feel like
we
I
love Florida people, but they're not. They're strange. That's how I can say. I go down there a lot.
I went in honest to God culture shock when I came to Georgia. I'm not kidding you.
It's definitely, it definitely is different. The two states.
I went in
are
the culture shock.
different.
Absolute culture shock. Yeah.
Okay, so guys and girls, we'll be right back. So just hang out, get a cup of coffee. I got matter of fact, I got a warm cup just coming in right here. You can get no smoking, please, people. This is no smoking studio. Yes. Shame on you people. Yes, I did smoke cigarettes, so I can bitch if I want to. How's that? I did. I smoked for a long time, like I don't know, 25, 28 years or something. And then you know what? I quit. Yeah, I just quit. That was 16 years ago.
My dad did that. Yeah.
I had enough. I was like,
Well,
nope.
my parents did that. They subjected us kids to drives from Maryland to Ohio, and everyone's like, they were smoking cigarettes in the wintertime, and then we'd keep, badgering them about them. Then later on, they quit, and we all smoked. So I'd be driving, my mom and dad would be in the car, and like, man, would you put that out? Like, yeah, sucks now, doesn't it? Puts on the other shoe now, isn't it, huh?
Yeah, he was poisoning me now. I'm poisoning you. How y'all like that shit? Oh, it's fair and loving war, people.
Right.
Jack, no. Anyway, we're going to play this song. Now, this is because it's cold outside. I'm playing this song, and then we're going to play a Christmas song after that, and then we'll be back, and we're going to talk a little bit more about Dolly's personal experience. Maybe we're going to tell her a little bit about the craft. No, Dolly's one of them guests you have to have on like 4 or 5 times just to even get to the really.
Yeah, this is only part 2.
And she. What do you mean, Chris? No, she can talk about anything she wants. She knows that. It's her show tonight. We're just hanging out with her. It's Anyway, let me play the songs when we get back to talk, and leave me alone, people. Stop. I'm moving to Mars. I'm just telling y'all. Y'all gonna keep it up, and the show's gonna be on a delay now, okay? Because I'm moving to friggin' Mars. Not with Elon. Who wants to live with Elon? He's boring. He's probably Trump's grandson or something. We just don't know about it. I don't put anything past any of these people. Oh man, I'm sorry, guys. We got to get out of here.
You know, for an evening that started out so badly, it has definite possibilities. No. Before you drink, you must always say salute.
Salute.
You know,
Salute.
Salute.
Skål.
On second thought.
Yes?
I really can't stay.
Baby, it's cold outside.
I've got to go away.
Baby, it's cold outside.
This evening has been.
Hoping that
No, that means Stoll will get you in trouble today, girl.
I'll hold your hands. They're just like ice.
My mother will start to worry.
Beautiful, what's your
My
hurry?
father will be pacing the floor.
Listen to the fireplace
So
roar.
really, I'd better scurry.
Beautiful, please don't
Well,
hurry.
maybe just a half a drink more.
Put some records on while I
The
fall.
neighbors might
But
think.
baby, it's bad out there.
Say, what's in this
No
drink?
cabs to be had out there.
I wish I knew how.
Your eyes are like stars
to
right now.
break this spell.
I'll
I
take
wish they
your
made
hat.
movies like
Your
this
hair
now.
looks swell.
No,
Mind if
sir.
I move any closer?
At least I'm gonna say that I tried.
What's the sense of hurting my
I
pride?
really can't
Oh, baby,
stay.
don't hold out, baby.
Oh, but
it's cold outside.
I simply must go.
Baby, it's cold outside.
The answer is
But
no.
baby, it's cold outside.
The welcome has
How
been
lucky that you dropped
so
in.
nice and warm.
Look out the window. at that storm.
Sister will be
Gosh, your lips look
My
delicious.
brother will be there at the door.
Waves upon a tropical
My
shore.
maiden aunt's mind is vicious.
Gosh, your lips are delicious.
Or maybe just a cigarette more.
Never such a blizzard before.
I've got to get
But
home.
baby, you'd freeze out there.
Say, lend me a call.
It's up to your knees out there.
You've really been
I
grand.
thrill when you touch my
But
hand.
don't you see?
How can you do this thing to me?
There's bound to be talk tomorrow.
Think of my lifelong
At
sorrow.
least there will be plenty implied.
If you got pneumonia and
I
I
really can't
get
stay.
over that old doubt, baby,
Ah, but it's cold
outside. I really can't
But
stay.
baby, it's cold outside.
What the hell?
Got to go away.
Baby, it's cold outside.
This evening has
Been hoping that you'd
Oh my
drive
gosh.
in.
very nice.
I'll hold your hands. They're just
The
like
Jack Lemmon.
Father will start to worry.
beautiful. What's your
Father
hurry?
will be pacing the
Listen
floor.
to the fireplace
So
roar.
really, I'd better scurry.
Beautiful, please don't hurry.
Maybe just a little drink
Put
more.
some records on while I pour.
The neighbors might
But baby,
think.
it's bad out there.
Say what's in this
No
drink.
cabs to be had out
Yeah,
there.
who puts this
I
stuff?
wish I knew
Your
how
eyes are like stars
to
right
break
there.
the spell.
I'll take your hat. Your hair looks
I ought to say no, no,
Mind if I
senor.
move in
At
close?
least I'm going to say that I tried.
What's the sense of hurting my
I
pride?
really can't
Oh,
stay.
baby, don't hold out,
Oh,
baby.
but it's cold outside.
Oh Lord. I knew whatever these guys are drinking.
Those were the days. Yeah.
Simply
Man.
must go.
Baby,
Easy and
it's
funny
cold
without being
outside.
hostile.
The answer is
But
no.
baby, it's cold outside.
The greeting has
You're
been
lucky that I
Yeah.
tried.
Okay.
All right, I guess hit the wrong button.
nice and warm.
Look out the window at that
Fat
door.
Finger Tuesday.
Will be suspicious.
Gosh, your
I know.
lips look
Your
delicious.
brother will be there at the door.
Waves upon a tropical
Your
shore.
maiden aunt's mind is
Gosh,
vicious.
your lips are delicious.
Maybe just a cigarette
Never
more.
such a blizzard before.
You've got to go
But
home.
baby, I'd freeze out there.
I'll lend you my
It's
comb.
up to my knees out there.
You've really been grand.
Thrill when you touch me.
But don't you see?
How can you do this thing to
There's
me?
bound to be talk tomorrow.
Think of your lifelong
At least there will be plenty
If I
implied.
caught pneumonia and died,
Really can't
get
stay.
over that old doubt,
Oh,
baby.
but
It's
it's
cold
cold
outside.
Okay, I think somebody was having fun. What was that, Dolly?
Huh? Oh no, I'm just thinking out loud. It's funny. My parents were like that. It killed me. Okay, my whole life.
Oh,
They
I know.
loved
So am
me.
mine. Yeah, mine were goofy like that. It was. I used to call my mom Joan Cleaver. She used to get furious at me. I was like, Mom, you're like Joan Cleaver. No, she's like, and she looked at me like, do you want me to send lunch home with you today, boy? I was like, Mom. She get furious at me. Oh, people, you don't know who Joan. I'm not even going there. We got one more song, and we're gonna be back. So you better go get whatever you're getting. This one's short. It's only 3 minutes. Well, I told you.
Oh, this is a good one.
Yes, I promised y'all a Christmas song. Now you can get one. Here we go.
Hark how the bells,
Oh my.
sweet silver bells, all seem to say, throw cares away. Christmas is here, bringing good cheer to young and old, meek and the bold. Ding dong, that is the song. With joyful ring, all caroling, one seems to hear words of good cheer from everywhere, filling the air. Oh, how they bound, praising the sound, all in the dance, telling their tale. Glory in excelsis Deo. Glory, hark how the bells all seem to say, Christmas is here, bringing good cheer to young and old, meek and the bold. Ding dong, that is the song. With joyful ring, all caroling, one seems to hear words of good cheer from everywhere, filling the air. Oh, how they bound, praising the sound, all in a dance, telling their tale. Hey, while people sing songs of good cheer, Christmas is here. Hey, while people sing songs of good cheer, Christmas is here. Gloria in excelsis Deo. Gloria, Ding dong, ding dong. That is their song.
Ding a dong and a ding a dong and a ding a ding a ding a ding a ding. No. Welcome back, everybody. I hope y'all enjoyed just a little Christmas music for everybody, just to get y'all warmed up for the holiday.
You want to hear something funny?
I'm listening away.
Very musical. My whole family's musical, and way back musical. And when I was little, we sang in a choir, and I sang in a professional choir. I was a mezzo soprano, and I did that for a long, long time. I developed cancer in my thyroid, and when they did the surgery, it nicked my voice. Cut the cord on my vocal cords, and the voice you hear me speaking in now, I had to learn how to use.
Oh, you had to retrain your voice. Yeah, that bites.
Yeah,
that's never an easy thing to do, especially if you got to give up something you love.
I know, but then my daughter got it, so I was happy about that. Yeah.
Actually, we're gonna let Dolly take over and just talk about what she wants, but I find that most contactees are gifted. There's layers of gifts, and a long time ago we had done a project in 1999, and we found out there was a big segment of the country. Not just the country, but Europe, that had a group of children, about 15%, that were way ahead of everybody else, not just in math and science, but in a lot of other gifted areas. Well, that following year in 2001, the government had put out a survey saying the same thing, that there had been a group of children in the United States, abroad the entire country, that seems to be on an accelerated curve. And they don't mean just in learning, they mean in general. I can only think that this is the contactee group, since it hits the 15% mark, which is what most people think is going on our planet, is around 15% of abduction. So,
you want to know how that happens? Why?
Go ahead, spit it out, girl. I'm sorry.
Okay. Well, everything in my childhood was they were taking me to be educated by them. I was learning from them the whole time. And my entire youth I was in class with them. They taught me everything. And when I was home in school, I was bored out of my mind. Literally bored out of my mind. I already knew all this stuff. I was already off the charts, advanced. And I was able to use my mind, my cognitive abilities, my thinking process was already very highly developed by the time I was 10 years old. And I went to school with a bunch of really gifted kids, and we were all contactees. I knew that. Okay. We lived in an area where massive amounts of children were all contactees together, all of us. And it surprises me that science won't admit that to y'all, that we have, it's not implanted in our DNA to do this. We all have that in our DNA to do this, literally. But if you start them young, they excel young. See what I'm saying? And that's what ET has been doing with humanity. It's one of the things they've been doing. Contactees don't just go there and get examined and stuff like that. You go to learn.
Yeah, and you do. I'm sorry.
Go ahead. Right.
No, I'm just saying that's the truth. I mean, I get a lot of people who contact me because they want someone to talk to their children about their experiences. Mm-hmm. Because a lot of this, and it seems to be more and more now that more parents have understand that this is actually a real thing in their life. They've really opened up to think, okay, well, if it's happening to me, it's happening to my kids. Now, a lot of parents get pissed, and I understand that, but for the most parents know, okay, I can't stop this, so let's just ensure that this is good for everybody. And I can't tell you, if I had $1 for every time I heard my bug-eyed friends came to get me, or my reptilian friends came to get me, and these kids are not scared. That's the thing. I mean,
Well,
I'm not saying they're all not scared, but
they
most
do change.
not.
You're right. They changed the image. I think in like the 2000s, it went from like bug eyes and things like that to owls.
Mm.
Yeah.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like totems, you know. I'm glad my memory's clear. I'm glad I have that on me to do. When I was 14 years old, I had decided that I was either insane or literally thought I was insane or this was real. And I had to take control of what I knew and what I understood. I had to take control of myself. I was not in control of my life at that point emotionally because I was living two places at the same time. I had this world and I had this world. And I couldn't stand it anymore. I literally couldn't stand it. And I made a deal with myself because when you have an eidetic memory, which I do, and not being able to remember certain things drove me crazy. It made me think, well, something's wrong with me. Maybe I'm schizophrenic. Maybe I'm this. Maybe I'm that. I spent two weeks in a library looking stuff up, trying to diagnose myself because I just wanted to understand what the heck was going on. So I decided this is it. The next experience I have, I will remember. And I'm not going to not remember. And it happened. I mean, it was difficult, but I did it. I was up one night. I was working on my astronomy lesson. I had a telescope in the backyard set up. I was doing calculations, and it's like 1 o'clock in the morning. It's a school night. I don't sleep anyway. My dad knew it, and he let me stay up late for this, you know, because he had to have stars and positions for me to get. And he said, finally, aren't you done? Go to bed. And so I packed down my scope and I went to bed and I got my jammies on and I was sitting in my room with nothing to do because I'm not sleepy. And I was looking out my window. I had these huge galaxies. They're like this wide and they open way. You can crawl out them in the middle of the night if you want to. Okay. And I'm looking up and it's a clear night in January in 1973. And Orion was still up and I'm looking at stuff and I'm just like, oh God, it's beautiful, blah, blah, blah. And I start to see things that don't belong there. And I'm counting them. I'm getting over 50. And I'm thinking, what am I looking at? What is this? Is it a meteor shower with that? And but if meteors come down, they don't stay in place and move around. And I thought, oh my God, this is it, you know? And then I became fantastically freaking weirded out about it because I'd never seen that many at one time. They all went into pairs of twos and they started to separate from one another. Some went north, you know, well, north toward me, south, east, and west. And two of them came down over our area where we were in the Glades. If you went southeast, Dayland Mall was there in Kendall. And then if you went west northwest out to the Glades where we were, so one went that way and then one came down over us. And it came down, I saw it come through the atmosphere. I saw it changing colors as it came in. It started out as white and it changed to different colors. And once it came in, I saw a haze around it, okay, which is plasma, okay. And I saw the plasma wear off it and it slowed down its movements and it stopped for a while and I'm staring at it and it came further down and it came just about, I don't know, 150 feet above a big oak tree in the back of our house, back of my room, big oak tree. And I'm looking at it, okay, memorize it, you know. So I'm at the bottom of it and I'm looking at the bottom of it and I'm looking for telltale signs of what the heck this is. Now I'm a NASA brat, okay? I know planes. I know a lot about this stuff. And I'm like, what is it? What is it? There are no markings on it. It's perfect metallic, smooth, absolute smooth metallic. But it had a drop down in the bottom of it in the form of what the bottom of it was. I was like, what is that? And I'm going up and I'm coming about halfway up it and I look up higher and they're quartz and they're rectangular and they weren't exactly, you know, like this straight. They were bent up slightly because it came up, it like went up over the top of it and then it had a top piece that went up like this, you know, and there were two ports that I could see. And inside the ports was a being in each one staring at me, staring at them. And my brain exploded and I thought, what? They're looking at me, they see me. And that's when I freaked out. And I turned, I was going to dive under my bed, you know, stupid stinking thinking, oh yeah, I'm going to hide under my bed, right? I didn't even get down halfway myself. My room exploded in blue white light. I froze. It was me. I froze. I was frozen in place. It shocked me so bad. And I'm like, oh my God. And this huge ribbon of energy came down in the light. And those two beings came down on that ribbon, in that, like, not on it, but in it. I could see him coming down in it. And when the second one came down, he came over to me and took me by the hand, and put my hand on top of his hand. And when he did, he pulled me into that ribbon of light, and the whole room went opaque. It changed. Okay. Nothing was the same. Everything changed. And I started to feel, like slightly nauseous, a little bit lightheaded, and realized that I wasn't standing on my floor anymore.
Ooh.
And I jerked, and he pulled me a little bit closer to him and told me, stay calm, And I'm looking up because I realize I'm going up toward my ceiling, and I'm thinking, how am I going to go through this? And we did. We went right through the ceiling, literally through the ceiling. I could see the layers as we went up in it, like we were, I don't even know how to describe it. We were in it. I could smell the dust in it. I could smell the materials in it. It was phantasmagorical to me. And when we got up to the roof line, we had, in Florida, hurricanes are a big thing. Our roof was rocked, heavy rocked. My dad built this house. And I went up through that, and then the tree was above us, and we went through the branches of the tree and everything. And the craft was up there, and it was doing weird things. It wasn't holding perfectly still. It was slightly, like this, slightly. And every now and then it like pulse bob, and very gently. And I look at it, and there's an opening in the top half of the craft. It's a saucer, and the top half it's open. It's like you don't go across into it, you almost go down into it. And I'm thinking, this beam went to the very top of it. It did not go into the hole. And when we got level with the opening in that beam, he shoved me in hard as he could. Landed on my keister. Very undignified. And I see this person sit next to me on the left. I'm thinking, what? And I look, and oh my God, it's Mama. I recognize the woman, and I don't know if a person who's had amnesia has ever said what it feels like to suddenly know everything at one time. Is a shock. And I could taste the bile in my mouth coming up. I became so emotional, and I started throwing up, and I grabbed the shirt of my pajamas and threw up in there. And I was like mortified. Oh my God. And I was heaving. And the two beings will come in right behind me, and Mama's like, get her cleaned up now. And they took me, one on each side of me, while I'm holding my guts in my shirt, and took me down below. And they took me to a room where they got all my clothes off of me. They gave me stuff to wash myself down really good. And then they gave me a smock, it's like blue. And I put it on. And then they put me in, the best I can explain it to you at that time, how I understood it, was a light shower. Okay. It killed any microbes on me that there were at all. Okay. And they told me to turn your hands over, hold your palms up, hold your arms up, turn around, that kind of thing. And then when I was done, they took me out. And I was shaking by then. I was almost like convulsively shaking. Oh, it's breathing to death. And they brought me back up to where Mama was, and I could not control myself at all. I was just like, it was bad. It was really bad. I was freaking out. So she said, walk her, just get her, walk it off, show her around. And so they did. They took me on a tour, and I toured the entire craft that night. I even went to where I had a little compartment room that was mine. It had a bed in it and a little cubby hole. And in the cubby hole was my fuller brush that I thought I lost that my mother whooped me for. And those things are expensive. The fuller brush guy, it's the only one I ever owned. And it was sitting right there. And I started laughing because I took a beating for that. I thought the fuller brush. It was $16 back in those days. I was sitting there laughing about it in my head and rocking. And he came in and he gave me this little drink to drink. And when I drank it, I felt better after a few minutes. It calmed me down. And he took me back up to her again. And the very first thing I was greeted with was everybody in my head was saying, "We are so proud of you. You did it." And I knew what I'd done. I was completely 100% awake. There was no more sleeper. There was no more dreaming. There was no more doubt. There was nothing. I knew every minute of my life again, every minute. And I had a headache from hell. I mean, a whole head cranium headache, mostly like right here and right here, but yeah. And Mama was like, "I want to congratulate you. You did good. We're so proud of you." And I'm like thinking, oh my God, I know what this means, you know? I was trying to assimilate the relationship, instantly come back to it, okay? Because when you're compartmentalizing everything, you're not always on board with who you know, what you know, why you know. It's like you see a friend you haven't seen for 20,000 years, you know, and you like fall right back into the relationship. And it took me a minute, okay? And then I hear in my head the craft's talking to me, and it's Talata. And I know who this is. I know. And he's like, "Hey, kiddo, you're good. You did it. Woo." And I'm thinking, Talata, oh my God, Talata. And they said, "What do you want to do now?" And because they're so psychic, they knew this was my intention. They knew that this was the night I was going to do this. They knew I intended to do it. And everybody was like on board with it. They weren't shocked at all. And I'm like, "I don't know." And he says, "Well, what do you want to do with your life? We're going to discuss it tonight. This is the deal." And that night, they did two things. They gave me the ride of my life. It's like a wand. It's about this long, okay, between my fingers, and it's circular, and it's metallic. And when you put it in your hand, when you're psychic, it links up to your psychic ability. You can feel it, feel it physically, emotionally. All your senses play into this thing. And Talata can mentally join up with you mentally, like you're there together in this thing. And when they did, he said, "I'm going to brief you. I'm going to teach you how we're going to go to see a place in your solar system. And you're going to fly, first time fly." And it took them about 30 minutes. And they ran me through it a couple times to see if I got understood, okay. Sat me in the seat. They showed me what I had to do because I had to keep my feet flat on the floor. I had no shoes on. And the pads were to keep me grounded in Faraday. Because it Faradays you. Once you sit in that seat, you become Faradayed because the electromagnetic energy rises to levels that can electrocute you, especially if you're driving the craft, okay? And so I got that. I got used to that. And then he said, "Let's go." And we went. And I flew with him. And they took me to Jupiter. And that was very, very cool. That was one of the most amazing nights of my life. When you're taking astronomy lessons and you're looking through a telescope, that's not that powerful, but it's enough for you to see some things. I could see the rings on Saturn, but not like this. And how freaking big they were, and massively, so many of them, more than I imagined in my mind. You can't really tell how many there are and what they're composed and comprised of, you know, and the distances between them are massive. You can't tell that either at distance, you know. And
I think they're like labeled to like letter G, I think, the bands of Saturn. There's like G.
Yes.
It's like there's a lot.
There's a lot of them, and they're composed of all different things. You know, some of them are solid rock, some of them are ice crystals. I mean, there's all kinds of things in these rings.
Broken up planets, yeah, everything.
Yes, everything. And so we went up through them and we went down through them, and when we were down, he said, we're going to go to the top. So I went back up through them and went to the top, and my jaw hit the floor. It was like glass. It shattered me. This is a gas planet, gas giant. And when you're around it, you can't tell. See, I know that Saturn's above the ecliptic, okay? When you take astronomy, you know that it's not in plane, it's above the ecliptic, and it's, you know, kind of tilted. And so you can't really tell. The closer you get to it, that all goes out the window. You're not visualizing it like that at all. You're seeing it close up and personal. And when I got to the top, there's an opening in the gas, and it's chevron shaped. You can see down through the gas, you know, not completely to the planet, but damn pretty good close. Okay. You could tell that there's an opening in the top of the gas in that planet. And I'm like, how the heck? What the heck? He said, that's the resonance of the planet creating that vibrational anomaly at the top. And I immediately went, well, is it at the bottom too? And he said, yeah, but it's a different shape. I was like, ah. And so we went down and we saw it. And the one on the bottom is more of a sort of like an 8-pointed star. Okay, it's different, and it undulates more than the one on the top. And that blew me out of the water. And he said, now you know about something about Saturn that nobody on your planet knows. And I thought that is just so totally damn cool, you know? And he said, you can't tell anyone. You can't say that because they will nail you for it. They will, because someday they're going to know and they'll come back and get you for it. Don't tell them. I'm like, okay. And he said, now we're going to take another ride. Put the wand down. I'm driving. Put the wand down. They let me stay in the seat. That's real close to the craft, by the way, that I saw. The one that picked me up.
Oh, the one on our background.
Yeah. And so we went and I see the moon coming into view. And I'm like, oh, we're going to the moon. And when you look at the moon, and you're Earth facing the moon, if you go to the 12 o'clock position and then you go to the 11 o'clock position, we went in up to the rim, right where the declination between day and night is, and we soft landed. And the very first thing I saw when they opened up so that I could see was Earth in phase. And that made me absolutely cry. That absolutely made me cry. That's a very small version of what I was on, but I was on
that's the Bob Lazar sport model from S4. Yeah. That's a picture from the actual model kit. I have it. I haven't built it yet. Still available. I think I'm going to buy a couple of them. There's 3 or 4 different ways you can actually build it. You can build it so you can't see through it.
See that little blip on the bottom? That'll drop down. There are batteries in there. 3 of them. Okay, on that spacecraft, there are 3 batteries in there. Yeah, and it drops down.
He calls them gravity generators, but yes, he agrees with exactly what you said. Yeah.
So, anyway, when we landed, it got quiet, and he said, "What do you want to do with your life?" And I said, "Well, I'm thinking about lots of things. At that age, I wanted to be a marine biologist, or an astronomer, or a physicist, or a doctor, or a nurse. I mean, I hadn't really decided. A pilot, race car driver. I mean." At 14, I was all over the place. I was leaning, but I hadn't really come to conclusions yet, not at 14. And he said, well, we're giving you an opportunity. Tell us what you would like to do. And my brain went straight to, I want to fly. Now, everybody in my family can fly. My dad can fly. My uncle fly. I mean, pilots all over the place in my family. And I said, I want to fly, but I didn't mean a bloody plane. I want to fly Pilata. Okay. And he said, well, we have to test you. There's no way we can make that decision. We can't tell you yes or no. We don't even know if you can. And I said, okay, that's acceptable, And I said, what do you have to, what do we do? And he said, you have to be tested and it's going to take a while for us to know. I'm like, okay. 6 months later, I was handed the keys to the kingdom because they immediately put me in for training, and it took me 4 years. I took my first solo flight just shortly after my birthday when I was 19 years old. And it was a lot. There's a lot of training involved, a lot. More than I could possibly tell you. Hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours of training for 4 years. Pilots here got it easy. You could do it in a year or 2. 4. It was mentally grueling for me at times. It was... it changed me. It turned me into somebody that I wasn't going to be originally. I became different. I don't know how to explain that to you. When you're using psychic abilities all the time and you're climbing into the head of another one to fly, it changes you. It changes you. I am not the same. I don't view life the same way. I don't see people the same way anymore. I am different. And it made it easy for me to be with them and harder for me to be here.
Yes, because humans are nuts. It's funny, but a lot of people, I shouldn't say people, but a lot of contactees feel more comfortable when they're there. It also depends on where you are on the up and down scale, but a lot of them just feel more comfortable there. I've had many contactees over the years tell me I feel more comfortable when I'm with them than I am here. Even though they have successful careers and families and stuff, they still feel more comfortable there, which, it's, I guess, part of it is I hate to say it this way because I'm gonna get all kind of email, but I think part of it is you get bored. You're not being challenged. When you're here, there's no real challenge. I mean, you get downloads and stuff like that, but I mean, it's not it's not the same as when you're on board a craft, whether it's a small one, a big one, or a mothership. Whatever you're on is going to be some kind of adventure.
Yes.
Learning something new, being involved in something new.
It's almost like Dolly explained being in grade school and high school. I was the same way. I was bored out of my skull all the way through it. The only time I was actually challenged was college because I was doing things I wasn't really, necessarily good at. I went to an art college, and I took one of our core classes was drawing. We had to take drawing 1, drawing 2, drawing 3, and drawing 4. 4 years of drawing, and the fourth year was life drawing, they called it, which meant there's a 100% naturally naked woman or man right there in front of you. You have to draw, paint, or somehow scribble into a piece of paper. And I failed it 3 times.
Sorry.
Yeah, you couldn't focus there, man. What's up? Yeah, you're a little distracted.
I didn't go there to draw. I went there to learn how to produce video, TV shows and stuff. I went I have a degree in video. It's the Savannah College of Art and Design, and after the third one, there was like my dad came down and we went to my guidance counselor, and he's like, "Is there some other class you can substitute that he doesn't have to take this and fail it again and again?" And they're like, "No, they're not." He's like, "Okay, we'll just take it to another school." And I'm like, "Oh, wait a minute, we have mechanical drawing, architectural drawing," and I'm like, "Sold." I got an A. I did that for 3 years in high school.
Did you ever want to be an architect? See, my dad was an architect and an aeronautical engineer.
Yeah,
He was
I
born
did
in
kind of think
August.
about it. Yeah.
He loved to draw. Every book he's ever had, he's doodled in, drawn in, had ideas, all kinds of stuff. He was dyslexic like crazy, and he couldn't.
Oh yeah, I'm 100% dyslexic.
There's a thing about that. He didn't go to college. He taught himself everything he knows. He's passed all the state boards. It freaked everybody out. They could not understand how he did it. He's like he had an IQ of 188. Okay.
I taught myself how to use nunchaku, which is a very advanced martial art weapon. I taught myself how to use a bullwhip, which is a very advanced agricultural tool. I taught myself how to use firearms for the most part, but I was taught how to use them tactically by the guys I shot with. And then I'm learning classes. I don't know, it's very dark, but I have 2 paintings up there in the Bob Ross style.
Awesome.
I take those classes every couple
So
of
you're a
weeks.
contactee?
I'm sorry?
So you're a contactee?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, he is.
Definitely.
He wouldn't be on the show if he wasn't. I'd have kicked his ass out of here.
Yeah. The gifts that humanity, we spend too much time thinking about stupid stuff,
Yes.
We're too egotistical. We're too self-involved. You have to come out of
is really the word I use for a lot of people. They're very, very narcissistic. Me.
Self-centered.
That's very selfish. Yeah.
Self-facing, yeah. And there's way more to life than that. There's more to learn than you could possibly imagine. And it's all out there, and it's interesting as all get out. And the fact that you can apply that knowledge to something,
Yeah,
you can apply anything you want. Yeah. It's crazy. And that's what it's like living with ET. There's no stopping learning. None. I mean, you don't think that they're just messing with us. They watch our planet. They watch our solar system. They do calculations. They do scientific studies. I mean, they don't sit down and sit still and do nothing ever. Okay. They're constantly learning new things and observing things and understanding why the universe is the way it is, And
I have always felt the same way, that if going to college was a profession, like if I could go to college and make money and live off of it, I'd have multiple degrees and master degrees in the subjects I like. I would love to learn. I mean, I wouldn't mind becoming an architect, or at least getting, the paperwork that says I can do it. I wouldn't mind becoming an archaeologist, a geologist. I've dabbled in everything. In college, I started off at criminal justice, then I went to geology, then I went to meteorology. I went to meteorology, then geology. And then I went to cinematography at another school, and then my final school was videography in Savannah, Georgia.
Yeah. See, I didn't sit still either. I've done so many things in this lifetime here that it's because I get bored. Okay, I have to move on to the next thing. It's like, oh look, shiny. I want to go see that. And go do that. And
the one thing that occupies my attention the most is this thing, because all the different video games you can put on them now.
Oh, see, I don't do video games ever.
Video's evil, man. It's evil. It's Satan. It's
Like, well,
Satan.
give me a break. We were the first. We were the
I'm
first
sure what,
generation.
yeah.
We had Pong. We had Intellivision. We had Atari. We had all when we started it. That's us.
Don't blame us for that. Shut the
You're a
bleep up,
millennial.
man.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Don't get us in trouble. We already got to deal with them crazy Z gens as it is, man. It's,
Yeah.
we love Z gens. We do. I have great grandkids that are Z gens. Even got grandkids that are Z gens. I also got grandkids that are millennials. I'm not sure which one's crazier. Millennials, probably. What do you? Who's my favorite generations and all the ones alive today is the X gens because they're just whacked.
Yeah, they're different. Preston's Gen X, by the way. Just saying.
Yeah. See, that proves my point right there. Preston.
Yeah, dude. Some of the things the young kids are into nowadays, it's just it boggles the mind.
It's yes.
Yeah.
What's that? We're talking about Preston Dennett.
Something that is wonderful, though. That's the problem. That's what's hard about this. It's like we think about things that keep you circling in loops that you can't get out of, or you become obsessed with something and you can't break away from the obsession. You become addicted to almost anything now, and you lose that ability to zero in on something and learn it till you know it. Own what you know, and that's sad to me that we're not.
We just see if he was listening, Preston. That's all. I'm sorry, Don.
Oh, he's on a show right now. He can't hear a bloody thing we're saying. He's on.
Look at it. We see.
He heard something.
Oh, he's teasing us. Oh, that's wrong.
Oh, there he is. Oh my God, he is hearing us. He must be done. Okay.
What's that, Kim? What do you mean? No, we're not. Okay, Kim, you're getting this. You misunderstand what we're saying here. We're not saying that all contactees are crazy. There's adjustment points. This is a lot to deal with, and if you're already kind of a schizoid person, it makes it even harder. Well, contactees sometimes have ADD and other things and other issues, and sometimes they can get weird diseases and stuff. It's hard to explain because I don't want to say you're being
I'm a kidney stone factory, if that helps.
No, I don't think that has to do with ET, but I'm not be blaming them for everything.
You never know, we don't know what kind of geology they're into collecting.
Well, Chris, I would think they would give us technology to help save our lives, but I don't think they think we can handle it right now. We don't know what else that technology allows you to do.
We're too busy making weaponizing.
That's right. We like now. Y'all close your ears, youngins, because I know this is a PG rated show, but we like blowing shit up. That's our problem. We could. There's a whole asteroid out there full of stuff we need. Let's go blow some asteroids up. Let's go blow up.
Because inside some of those asteroids are things we need, like timonium.
That's right. That's what I'm saying. There's a lot of good stuff in there, man.
We got a Kuiper belt where there's tons of stuff. Just saying.
Yeah.
Well, they got the one asteroid and the one between Mars and Jupiter. It's worth more than our planet is. There's not even a number for it. It's how much that one asteroid is worth more than our planet is completely.
Worth more than the planet.
1 billion times. Yeah, 1 billion times.
Well, I mean, just think about this though.
Ridiculous.
We have the table of elements, the periodic table of elements, and it's up to like what 115, 117. I forget how. It has the two blowouts that are proposed and undiscovered elements. It's not full. We don't have all the information in that periodic table. Think about if we went out to the Kuiper belt and started coming back in. Think of all the gaps and things we'd fill in there. We'd find materials that we might find a fiber out there on the Kuiper belt that you can weave into a shirt, and you can stand point blank and shoot a 45 Magnum in someone's chest, and they won't even feel it.
Yeah, I want to give you a hint about something. There's a micro universe and the macro universe. Yes. And there are more elements in the micro universe than there are in the macro. That's the thing. And when you're talking about elements on the periodic table, they're getting smaller and smaller and smaller. They're going more macro, micro than you can imagine. And we have to develop better ways to see them and understand what they are and actually be able to do the testing to figure out what they are. Okay. This is where, and it goes all the way down to the proton and the light. That's a proton is, because a proton, they finally got one on film. They know that there's a triangle of nodes, 3 little nodes in a proton, and they generate light. And they finally saw that. Okay.
Yeah.
And
so
that's
that was a cool picture.
ET technology is light technology. Okay. That's why psychic is so important, because psychic ability is a type of light. You communicate in light signals. You transmit in light. You are a light being. The reason that you can't tell is you're in the third dimension. You're indwelling a body that's gravity heavier, and all your protons are so compact you think you're solid. You are not. You're light, and you're pretty see-through. There are things you can see when you've developed the ability to see that. And we have just now begun to start to realize that ET is like a billion or more years ahead of us.
Easy.
Yeah. So their technology is that more advanced. Okay. And like, I know that they have back engineering going on. I know it for a fact.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I also know that it's rudimentary engineering. They can't achieve the same types of technology that ET has. They're approximating it. But it's not what they have.
Yeah, with some of their minerals on their periodic table, we don't have and can't replicate.
Exactly.
Yet, so
They're burning
all the materials.
They're burning fuel that is nuclear, but in a different way. It's fuel that exhausts itself completely. There's no waste. Okay. And it's a very small amount, produces graviton waves, electricity that becomes a graviton. That's their technology for getting through dimensional space.
What were we reading about the other night? The electric engine, the plasma engine that don't burn fuel. They got a new engine that doesn't burn fuel at all.
I don't know if that was what we were talking about. I just saw one this afternoon, and I didn't get a chance to look at it all the way through. But Elon has apparently a new orbital transportation system that he's going to implement.
Yeah, Elon's got all kind of stuff. He's just taking his pacing himself.
Yeah,
he wants to go to Mars, but he's also going to have the first old folks home in space.
No, I won't go there. No, thank you.
Going?
I don't want to.
As long as it's Friday night pizza night, I'm in. And Taco
the turnover is going to be incredible because nobody will make it past a year. Nobody.
He said it's going to be only 50 and over, no children allowed, and not in the beginning because if
children
he
have
said,
to grow up without that.
See, they're looking at a couple of things. They're looking at one, if you build everything in like Olympus Mons or underground somewhere where you don't have to contend with meteorites or radiation and stuff. He said, and you open it up and you put the whole area, auctionize the whole area so you can plant and do the whole 9 yards. He said, then you can put a full functioning colony there and you can live for a long time. He said people don't realize it. He said, but once the colonies are there, it'll extend old people's lives by 60 or 70 years.
I would like to tell you something. Just because somebody says it's so means nothing to me.
No, this is actually science though.
No, I'm science. Wait a minute. I'm going to shut you down. You're going to listen. It's my show tonight, right? You're going to hear the truth. All right. Here's the truth. Gamma radiation 100% kills. If you're alive, you're dead in gamma radiation. And if you're overexposed to it, all life ceases and you will die. Gamma radiation goes through absolutely everything. All metals, all rocks, all planetoids, all of it. Everything, even the sun. There's no place that is safe in space, period, for biological entities ever. And exposure to it, you will die. ET does not travel in conventional space for that reason. They travel in interdimensional space, and they go great distances that way because they have to get where they're going and get inside a magnetosphere. They need planets that have magnetospheres to protect them from gamma radiation overexposure like we have. That's the truth. Now, you want to know the truth about that? You talk to any doctor who's an X-ray technician, and he will tell you point blank.
I understand that, but you can shield from gamma.
No,
we do it now. We shield our shuttles from gamma. Not just that, we shield stations from gamma.
Partially inside our magnetosphere, and they have a limited amount of exposure to it. They cannot leave an astronaut there for more than about a year and a month or so because it destroys their DNA. They've proven that. The two NASA astronauts, the identical twins, they sent one up, they kept the one on Earth. When he came back, he no longer biologically matched DNA with his brother, and it took 4 years for it to start to heal itself. That is the truth. You are being lied to by somebody. I don't know who the hell it is, but they're idiots.
Well, here it is right here. U.S. Environmental Protection Agency shielding barriers of lead, concrete, or water provide protection from penetrating gamma rays.
Not
in done in cycles.
Because when you go into space and you go near a star or you reach certain speed levels or whatever, that melts. It does not stay solid.
And Mars is pretty far out. Well, Mars is pretty far out in the solar system, so anything getting there is going to be long dissipated.
Electromagnetic energy melts lead, and you cannot outside this magnetosphere. It degrades it, it destroys it, and you're dead.
Yeah, but that's not doing it on Mars because we have craft on Mars that are surviving.
Now, I do know if Mars were to be subjected to a gamma ray burst, like a concentrated beam, anything on the planet is gone, regardless of shielding.
Not all of their equipment lasts, and when it dies, it dies. And there's several that already have.
Yeah,
The
well,
only
things are going to die.
survived it, which amazes me, and it's because it's moving probably, is Voyager. That surprised the heck out of me that it's made it that far out. But
There are
there's
two
no
of them have.
biological, and here we go. I want to make the point. It is not biological. There is no biological entity on Mars. It is all mechanical. And mechanical can probably last longer. That's true. But if you're biological, you're not going to survive it. Don't compare eggs to oranges. You cannot do it. Okay?
Let's see, because Elon's going, so we're going to find out.
Yeah,
you know,
he's
if it ain't no ifs, ands, or buts, he's going.
for something. That's all he's doing. That's what he's doing. That's my beef against all these guys. They lie to you. They get you to fund it. They get funding from somewhere, and they're putting the money in something else. Truly doing that.
NASA just put out information suggesting that somebody got to the moon before we did, and had set up a colony in there.
You mean in another iteration? You mean like 12, 14,000 years ago? Possibility.
Well, maybe. No, they were talking about 50, 60 years ago, 80 years ago. That's what they were talking about.
So they're saying the Nazis
no,
did.
well, because recently, first off, India found something that looks like something that shouldn't be on the moon, like it had been regurgitated from somewhere, and there wasn't no asteroid hits or strikes around it. So they were kind of like, well, what is this? And in China, 6 months later, on a different part, found the same damn thing. And they're kind of like, no, somebody was here. Looked like somebody was there drilling, and it looks like they were using conventional technologies. That's their description. So who was it? It wasn't us.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't swear it wasn't us, but I mean, as far as I know, it wasn't us.
I got told one time, and I don't know how true this is. Okay, so I mean, I'm talking out of turn. But this is something I was told that China, and I mean not China, Russia actually had a moon lander before we did, but they didn't expect them to come back, and it's still sitting up there.
They might have. I won't rule it out. I won't rule out that maybe Germany made it. I won't rule out either one of those because they were both they both had the technology to do it.
The earliest I heard was the Nazis had a base up there that no one returned from because they lost the war. But also, Russia did. I mean, they pretty much conceded that we got there before them as far as the 60s space race.
I don't know. You know, none of us. One day we'll find out. I mean, we don't know now, but
Yeah.
it is.
Okay. Tell Todd, I just said to say this to you. He's listening to us right now, by the way.
Spit it out.
He said, all right, here's example A of why lead is not that good of an idea.
I don't like.
You know that there are X-ray laboratories and they're all shielded. They got lead shielding in them, big, huge lead blankets in all the walls and everything. He said, how often do you think they change those out and why? They change them about every 3 to 4 years because they absorb all the radiation and they become gamma radioactive and will kill you. There's only some, they absorb it and hold on to it. So don't even go there with that idea in your head. Lead is not an acceptable material.
No, it can't do it by itself. When my construction company, we did several X-ray rooms, and you know, when we put them in there, you put in regular sheetrock. Actually, put in 2 layers of regular sheetrock, and then you put in a layer that's got a lead over the top of it. But on top of that, you have to come back with lead liquid and fill anywhere there's a screw hole, anywhere there's a seam. Everything has to be sealed 100% so it doesn't penetrate. Now, depending on when it was done, if it was done like in the 60s or 70s, it's already been tore out and redone. No ifs, ands, or buts. The newer stuff, for some reason, can last a little longer. So you might get 10, maybe 12 years out of it. But even after that,
man, that's shocking.
They're gonna pull it out regardless. And
all lead absorbs radiation.
It does. It holds it. That's the whole point. It holds
so if you're going to shield yourself from lead and it's absorbing gamma radiation, what do you think's going to happen to you?
But see, they're not trying to shield themselves. They're trying to shield the guy next to them out. So it's just a barrier between them and the room next to them. The people in the room are being exposed to it, and they tell them that all the time. I noticed they started making all the people wear these aprons and all now, and these pants things that go down, because I guess somebody decided to sue because they got irradiated from sitting in that little room thinking they were safe.
No,
you're not safe in that room, people. I'm just being honest about it. You're not safe. Hey, I'm not saying that. It's a good job, and I'm glad somebody does it.
Those little stupid tags that they wear to show exposure, that blew me out of the water too. First time I saw one of those, I was like, you really think that's going to tell you anything, right? You know? Don't even go there.
Yeah, when I was in the reactor room on the Nimitz, they gave us some. I'm like, I looked at these things, and I looked up at the chief, and I said, you know, by the time this thing turns pink, we're dead, right? He said, yeah. I said, so why do we need to wear them?
Just to give you a warning, it's coming. I don't know. That's
not these did. These just they were.
Yeah, it's basically just say, guess what? You can't leave this area now.
They were blue, and then they turned pink. And when they turned pink, guess what? You were dead.
You're done.
You're done. You might as well go roast yourself and just be done with it. What's that, Kim? Where are you at?
Did they give you iodine tablets the whole time you were working there?
No, not the whole time. They did from time. You know what was funny about that is we had a crew that came through, and they would do the reactor room and they would do the bridge, and they would just scan. And if the scan was X amount, they didn't bother with anybody and fuss with anybody. And then once a year, you had to go in for a physical where they actually checked your blood for trace amounts of radiation. But the Nimitz was strict about it, but then actually Navy was pretty strict about it. I guess they didn't want any more lawsuits, but it didn't matter because you would find it. That's the scary part, people. From time to time, we would found it tracked around the ship. Not like, I'm not talking like tons, but still stuff that shouldn't have been there. Residue from something that was changed out, something that's
Radiation does not stay in stasis; it moves.
Yeah, so it's
the problem.
So they would do it, and then it was always mandatory that the reactor doors. Well, it was actually tier doors, actually, to be honest with you. They wasn't one, but they all had to always be shut, always, no matter what.
Yeah.
And then we had a scanner. I forgot to call them scanner tags that when you walked onto the bridge, it actually scanned you because if you had been any kind of burst of anything around you, they didn't want you around any of their high-end equipment.
Yep.
Yeah.
See, they didn't really care if you were going to die. They just didn't want you screwing up their multi-million-dollar equipment. And it was just kind of sad. But anyway, what was that, Kim? Okay, no, I'll ask her. Kim wanted to know if you have a favorite ship you were on or have been on, I guess is the question she's asking.
Oh, yeah, actually, there's two. Tolada is my favorite ship. Go figure. All right. I'm very accustomed to him, and it's home to me. But then there is it's a sphere. What you would think of as a Dyson sphere. Our conception of as Dyson, theoretical conception of it is that it circles around a sun, that they build this sphere around the sun to harness the sun's, energy.
100% containment of the energy of the sun. Yes.
Right. Okay. But that isn't what they do. They build a sphere that's planetoid size, and they give it a core, an electromagnetic core, and it builds a magnetosphere around it. And on this artificial planetoid, there are levels in different places where they have different environments, and it is two that I know about in the universe. And one is literally on the other side of the universe from us, from the center. And the other one is a little bit closer. It's like this side of the center of the universe to us that I know about. And I was in the one that's closer to us. And it took about 15 minutes. We had to jump several times to get several light gates to get to it. It's a long, 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 long way away. The universe is huge, imagine.
That's huge, it is.
And it took several light gate jumps. And when we got there, and we were approaching, I went into dead shock because it's that big. I mean, you approach it and you realize, oh my God, it has its own atmosphere on the outside of it, even though they don't, it's weird. Okay. There's a magnetosphere around it, and it collects atmosphere. And it
gases in space. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. Really weird stuff. So you have to go through it. And it's like coming through our atmosphere. It doesn't bother them, because of the way they fly, but you can visualize it, you can see it, okay, and it's dense. And once we get in and we get close enough, within about 10 nautical miles of the surface of it, we came to a place where we went into it, and we parked. Literally went in and parked, and Tolada totally dropped down. He was like hooked up, and he powered down, and he disembodied. That's the first time that ever happened around me that I knew that he could do it. He absolutely disembodied. And he told me when he did that, after we got off, he was warning me that he would not see or hear from me for a short amount of time, and not to panic or freak out, because I was on my own at this point, and I was being led in and shown things, and I had a purpose for being there. And I was like, okay, because he's constantly in my head. I lost clairvoyant contact with him, and so everything went silent in my head for a while, and I'm listening to them and doing what they want me to do. And when he finally talked to me again, he showed up dead up in front of me. I saw him as he wanted me to see him. And I didn't realize this. A fifth dimensional non-corporeal being, a being of light, can materialize into anything they want you to see. Okay. They can become anything. And he literally became about a 6.5 foot, 7 foot tall male, older male, and with eyes that were electric blue. And he said, Dolly, out loud. I could hear him talking, not just psychically, but he gave a voice to himself. And I was like, oh my God. And he said, this is where I live while I'm working. This is where I come to relax and take it easy. And I'm like, you're kidding me. And he said, there's a space here on this planetoid where I can be in the fifth dimension. And that freaked me completely out because I could not conceive of that. Okay. I know that we have a fifth dimension. I know where when we go through it. Okay. Very short amount of time for me to be in it, but I know where it is, what it is, why. And I was like, oh my God. And he said, you can't come there. I'm going to go relax while you do your job. And I said, okay. And he disappeared. And I was there for about 2 weeks. And I was learning a protocol to transport massive amounts of animals in a cataclysmic event to this place, because this is where they're held, the ones that they choose to pull off to save for breeding purposes. And that's what I was doing on this thing. It is, you'd think this planet's got a lot to see and do. Oh, this is a cool place. And it's indescribable. There's just so much going on there. I mean, there's an ocean on this thing. There is a lake on this thing. There is vistas and venues and all kinds of stuff on this thing. It's huge. And getting to different places is just as easy as traveling with ET, you know? You like gate, physically walk through a gate. And this got me to thinking, and I said, can I leg gate home from here? Can I not have a craft and leg gate from here to home? And they said, no, you can't make it from here to home. You have to take a craft. And I thought, oh, damn, that's too bad. But then I got to thinking, yeah, but we could leg gate here, couldn't we? And I got the nod, yes. And I've been waiting for y'all to develop that. I haven't seen any evolution of it at all whatsoever, but oh, that would be so totally cool. That would immensely make us a lot better off than we are now. You know, it's one of the most important things that they do.
Well, we're starting to play with it. We've transported a photon. I think the record now is across the entire city of London, like, you know, several miles now. So we're close to that kind of technology.
Well, we've done what was it? It was living. It was an organism actually that the Australians did for about 3 miles. It was intact when it went to where it was going, but that's a long ways from sending you or I or any other damn thing. And to be honest, I'm glad I won it, because like if we were sitting here, I could say, hey, you need a drink, let me send you over a Coke right quick, put it in a little machine and hit the button.
Yeah,
poof,
you could order a New York,
right in front
New York
of you.
and have it hot, fresh delivered by teleportation.
So there's lots of uses for it.
It would stop the airplanes from polluting our atmosphere. It would stop us from being on heavy radiation loads being that high up in the air. It would stop us from tearing up trains and automobiles and all kinds of stuff. I mean, it's like next level existence, okay, for humanity.
I sold my last house because I started noticing there was an airport and a chemical plant, but I was a good 20 miles away, but I started noticing one side of my roof was changing colors. So I called one of my friends from the EPA. I said, come on, I want you to do me a favor. He came by and said, this is pollution. I said, okay, next day for sale. And I even told the people I was selling to it while I was leaving. I wanted to be honest with them, but it was a beautiful home. It's like I don't like living around electric lines or big phone towers either. You know, keep that shit to yourself.
Exactly. Yeah.
What's up, Jimmy? We got, you know what? We can go 6 more minutes, but we'll be getting into Michelle's show. Yes.
Oh.
And she'll be sweet to Dolly, but she'll threaten Jay and I. So.
No, let's not go there. Okay.
Right. So I don't, you know, she's the boss. Yes. Anyway, we'll talk about that in another show. What's Peter? Where'd you go, Peter? I just seen you put up a question a minute ago. Peter, where you from first? Yeah, you know you should always put up where you from, where you coming in from. Peter, where are you at? Oh, you're in London. What is it, like 2 a.m. there or something?
Wow, stayed up late. Thank you.
Yes,
that's very nice.
Well, no, I know. We've been. I know we got a good audience in London. So what's up? What you got? So he's basically asking, at what point in your life did you just become completely entrenched comfortably, and not just everything combined, the extraterrestrial stuff, your everyday life, the whole 9 yards? When I guess he's trying to get you to put a time frame, because he says he's about to go crazy because he can't figure out how to balance it out between his.
Oh, I was in my late 40s. No kidding. I finally woke up one day and I was completely okay with everything. I wasn't prearranging that stuff in my head, what I had to do, where I had to go. I wasn't putting all my ducks in a row constantly. I wasn't a nervous, I wouldn't call it nervous. I was stressed sometimes about everything that I had to accomplish in a day here and there. Okay. I would worry about super silly, stupid stuff. And I quit in my late 40s, early 50s. I just went, it is what it is. You know, I just calmed down. And
Well,
I
I tell
realized
people, don't
everything.
sweat the small stuff. Yeah.
Exactly. And I think that has a lot to do with wisdom and age, honest to God, because you get to a point, and everybody who's over 50 knows this, that where we just go, you know, it's okay.
Some of us over 50 don't, but
You know,
most of us
count
do.
to 5, wait for, you're fine. You're fine. And that's what I do. You know, I only get nervous or racked when I have something on this side of it that's annoyingly hard, because I'm working against what other people want, like when you're going to get on an airplane and go to Canada. Oh my God.
You're lucky they let you come to Canada, you American, you.
No. It's amazing.
You're lucky they let you in there, man.
I
I recall going to Canada when I
me.
was 8, and I didn't have to have my passport, so I remember that.
Wow. I still have some of their money. I kept it.
I think I have a $2 Canadian dollar bill in my. I have a piggy bank back here that has I have Japanese money and Chinese money my grandparents gave me. So neat coins I saved.
I can show you how to get into Canada with no passport, no nothing. Never even been harassed while you're there either. You can go eat dinner, go shopping, the whole 9 yards, no problem.
On the same token, we can show you how to get into Mexico the same way.
Yeah. I know that I had an escape plan when I was there, because we flew in, and then when all this stuff happened with the government, my daughter called me and said, well, they shut the government down. The TSA's going to go to hell. And I went, no, not right away. Don't worry about it. And I started looking around, and I realized they got a ferry that goes from Sag Harbor straight over to Maine. I went, oh, how easy is this? You just, rent a car and get on the dang ferry and go home. Just drive. It's like, okay. No kidding. And they have Enterprise Rent-A-Car in Sag Harbor. It's like, wow.
There you go.
Yeah.
It's what's no, we gotta go, guys. What you got? 3 minutes. What y'all got? No 5 minutes. That question is too long. Take too long to answer.
Okay, I got one thing to say for 3 minutes. 3i Atlas is breaking up, people. It's a real comet. It got close to the sun. It's burning itself up. Bye bye. See you. Woo woo. It's over.
Yes.
Okay.
What's
that was great.
Fourth one? What fourth one? I did hear somebody today say there was a fourth thing from out of the solar system, but I haven't verified it, so I ain't gonna worry about it until
we got stuff.
I see real news.
I saw an article about that. There was there's another. It's not an interstellar object, but it is a Kuiper Belt object that was seen with 3i Atlas in one of its photos, and it's nothing. It's harmless.
Because we have all these new optics, we're seeing things that we never saw before that we didn't know were there.
Yeah.
Ignorance is bliss sometimes, and now we're seeing things and we just don't panic.
We're finding out space isn't as empty as we thought.
That's right.
Yes. Shahid, is that how you say your name? Where are you? New York? Okay, no, I was just asking. I like to know where the people we're talking to are from. What do you have? Oh, you one of those? No, you can just go away. No. Why does the devil need a UFO? Really? Give me a break. I mean, look, he has much, you know what? I'm going to be honest with you. He has much better ways to torture your soul than to use a UFO or an alien. I'm just being honest with you.
There's good and bad.
That's right.
And
you keep effing around, they'll send Dolly to your house. You better straighten up, buddy. I hear she's got a kit. You better be careful. I'm just warning y'all. Be careful. Well, no, yeah, she does look well adjusted to it, but it's once you accept it, it makes life easy. It's like anything coming out of the closet, not being an alcoholic. It's just it's a lot.
Wisdom is a good thing. Remember that.
Mm-hmm.
dealing with this in your own head is just takes a lot of energy. It's always best to find people who have had similar experiences to talk to, because at least then you got somebody to vent with. Or a lot of contactees turn into communicators like Dolly and get out there and tell the world about it. And that's so that the rest of you can either get out yourself and do it. What do you
I have
mean?
some advice for everybody. Please don't believe off the cuff everything I say to you. I would love for you to treat me like I'm a teacher, and I need you to go prove it for yourself. Go learn for yourself. Okay. The more you learn, the more you own what you learn, and you can employ that knowledge yourself. That's where wisdom happens. Right. And all I can do is teach you what I know. That's it. You have to learn it for yourself.
That's the biggest takeaway I give people from that are interested in this subject. They're like, tell me this, tell me that. I'm like, no.
Do you?
I've been spending years collecting this information. Here's where you should start. Get this into your brain, then come back and talk to me. Then we, I can't just give you 40 years of my research in this conversation. This is a deep subject.
That's right.
Well, there's a lot going on, and it's different for a lot of people. It's a strange thing. But
even Native Americans had a saying for this, by the way: "Walk a mile in my moccasins and then come talk to me." That means everything. Learn what I know the way I did it, and then
Wait, hold on. We're gonna get out of here, people. But who we got in here? Who's out of Rome got on tonight? Visitations with Morgan Delmore. Oh, anyway, she's on right now, guys. So y'all go check her out. I don't know if she's got Amelia with you. You have to go see for yourself. I don't know. I can't see. I'm in the queue with Dolly and Jay. No, just go over. No, we're leaving. We're wrapping it right now. But Dolly's got to do some plugging before we leave. She's got to tell y'all where to find her, who's going to be on her show, and all that fun stuff.
Yeah. Well, I'm on Facebook. I'm in Messenger. I'm on actually Roku. I'm on Instagram. I'm on X. And that's pretty good. And you can find me through Preston as well at PrestonDennettWeebly.com. And just try any of those and I'll answer you. If you have a direct question, go to Messenger. I usually read that first and I'll answer your questions.
All right.
What you got coming up on your show?
We have Michael Schratt actually Monday night, and I'm excited about that. I love this guy. He is super duper, and we're going to have a good time.
Yeah, so y'all be sure to go check it out. But we got to go because Michelle is on live now, so we don't like cutting into our time. She hates when I get into her audience and stuff. Yeah. She's touchy about them kind of things. People, no, I'm just kidding. She's not really. But we got to go and thank everyone for tuning in to United Public Radio. And what was that, Jimmy? No, I want to thank everyone for tuning in to United Public Radio and UFO Undercover. I hope you enjoyed the show. Of course, I say this on every show. If you have any moans, groans, bitches, or complaints, please feel free to write to Michelle DeRoche. She loves to hear from y'all. She always responds with a nice, kind, sweet, and loving letter. Yes, and I can't tell you this is a PG-rated show. I'm sorry, guys.
She's the sweetest, most intelligent human being I know. Just saying.
She's a brilliant woman. She does a lot of hard work for all of us. But we got to go on that note. So y'all be sure to go give her some love, and we'll see y'all on Friday night. I'm sure the world will be more insane now that the governor will be back open, and God knows what else is going on. There'll be all kinds of crazy stuff.
There's going to be a lot more fireworks coming.
What, Jesse? As far as I know, the House passed. It's just got to go in front of the president. I guess he'll sign it tomorrow.
They're debating in Congress right now. They're having a good time.
Yeah, it's always a lot of fun. No, you can go watch and vote. Yeah, you can go. No, you can go watch and vote, doofus. Yeah, it's like the British Parliament. You can watch and vote. Yeah. You can always watch Congress vote. Yeah,
people can vote, but through their congressman by calling their congressman's office and leaving a message on the telephone. They hear it. They know.
But for everybody who's hanging out in the chat room, glad to see y'all in there and cutting up and getting into mischief. But we really do have to go. So I want to thank you again for listening to United Public Radio and UFO Undercover with Jay and I and Miss Dolly Safran. And I hope y'all really enjoyed the show. On that note, good night and go over to the outer realm.